Hi grade 10s, it's Ms. Thangaraj here. Today I'm going to make our first video about centroids, orthocenters, and circumcenters. We've been learning about triangles for the past couple weeks, and now we're going to take all that information, put it together to master these three concepts: centroid, orthocenter, and circumcenter. This will be the first video of several videos, and I hope that this will be helpful for you. So the first concept I want to talk about today is the centroid. And the centroid requires us to use the median of a triangle and to calculate where the medians of the triangle intersect. We've done medians before. Remember, medians mean we need to find the midpoint of one side and go to the other vertex. And so a centroid is just where those medians intersect. Let's do an example together where we need to find the centroid. Let's look at the triangle with vertices minus 14, 10, 6, 0, and negative 10, negative 4. It'd be helpful if while you're watching the video, you're doing the math as well. So maybe right now you want to get a piece of paper and you want to plot these points on a coordinate grid. I have used Desmos and I plotted the 3 points, and we need to remember that we are looking for the centroid. So what is a centroid? So if you look in your notes or look in that package that I gave you, you will see again that the centroid is where the medians intersect. So what we want to do is we want to find the medians for this triangle, find the equations of those lines, and find out where they intersect. Let's do that right now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint of the line segment between the red point and the blue point. So let's do that right now. Find that midpoint between the red point and the blue point. So here I am, I'm calculating the midpoint between this point and this point. I'm doing my math. Minus 14 plus 6 is minus 8 over 2. 10 plus 0 is 10 over 2. So my midpoint is going to be minus 4, 5. So that's our first midpoint that we need to use. I plotted that midpoint on my graph in Desmos. And so now my next step is I want to find the midpoint between the red point and the green point and add that to my graph as well. So here I am, I'm calculating my second midpoint. And when I do that, minus 14 plus minus 10 give me minus 24 over 2. 10 plus minus 4 is plus 6 over 2. So that's going to give me negative 12, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I'm going to add that midpoint to my graph on Desmos as well. Here is all my information on Desmos. I've got my 3 vertices and my midpoints, and now I want to find the centroid. And the centroid, remember, means that I need to find 2 medians. And remember, a median goes from a midpoint to the opposite vertex. So I need to find the equation for 2 medians. And that means I'm going to start at my midpoint, go to my vertex. Start at my other midpoint, go to my vertex. So I want to start at the black point and go to the blue point. That'll be one median. And then I want to start at the purple point and go to the green point. That will be my second median. So I'm going to find those 2 equations, and then I'm going to find out where they intersect in the middle. I've drawn my first median using Desmos. Now, how are we going to come up with that equation? I need to find the slope between the point negative 12, 3 and the point 6, 0. So let's do that right now together. I've put the 2 points here. This is the midpoint of the one line. This is the opposite vertex. And so I want to find the slope between these 2 points. So here, this is going down 3. Here, this is going up 18. So my slope is going to be negative 3 over 18. And I can reduce that fraction. That's the same thing as negative 1 over 6. There is my slope. And I want to use that slope in the equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. So I know that right here, I should have negative 1 over 6 for my m. And then I can pick either one of these 2 points to put in for my x and y so that I can solve for b. Why don't you pause this video right now, put one of those points into the equation and see if you can find b. I'm going to use the point 6, 0. So I'm going to take 6, 0 and I'm going to put it into the equation. So here I will have my 0. Here I have my 6. So here I have 0. And this is a little 1 here. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. 6 times 1 is 6 plus b. It's always best to reduce your fraction right away. So this is just going to be negative 1 plus b, which means that b is equal to plus 1. So my whole equation, cross off this b, is going to be negative 1 over 6x plus 1. So that's the equation of our first median. Now we need to look at Desmos to find what points I'm going to use for my second median. We've just found the equation for the median that's colored red in my triangle. And now I want to look at the median that goes from the midpoint negative 4, 5 to the point negative 10, negative 10, negative 4. So that's the blue line. I want to find that median next. So I'm going to need to find the slope, and then I'm going to have to find the b. So let's do that together right now. I'm going to find the slope between these 2 points, between the median and the other opposite vertex. So this is going up 9. This is going up 6. So my slope is going to be 9 over 6. Or if I reduce that, that means 3 over 2. So my equation is going to be y is equal to 3 over 2x plus b. And I'm going to pick either one of those 2 points, let's say this one, to put into my equation to solve for b. So I have a 5 for my y. I have a negative 4 over 1 for my x plus b. So I have negative 12 over 2 plus b. Negative 12 over 2 is just negative 6. And that means that my b is 5. Oops, I'm writing on my table. 5 plus 6. So my b is equal to 11. So right here, this b is equal to 11. So we have the 2 equations. We have this equation for one median, and then we have this equation for my second median. And what it means is to find my centroid, I need to find out where those 2 medians touch each other, where they intersect. Using Desmos is awesome because when you use Desmos, you can check your work as you're going, and you can see right away that the centroid, where the medians intersect in the middle of the triangle, should be negative 6, 2. So let's use algebra ourselves. Let's see if we can get that same answer as we've gotten using Desmos. Here are my 2 equations for my medians. I want to find out when they equal each other. So I'm going to equate them. And I want to bring all my x's together and all my non-x's to the other side. So I'm going to have 3 over 2x plus 1 over 6x. And then here I have 1, and then my plus 11 minus 11. So I end up with 1 minus 11 gives me minus 10. And here I need to have a common denominator. So I'm going to change this times 3 times 3. So it gives me 9 over 6x plus 1 over 6x. And that means I have 10 over 6x. Okay, we're almost there. We need to now get the x by itself. So I need to divide by the coefficient of x. So divide by that number in front of x. So that means I'm going to have x is equal to negative 10 divided by 10 over 6. And when we divide fractions, that just means I have negative 10 times 6 over 10. And put a 1 here. So I have negative 60 over 10, and that just really is negative 6. And that's exactly what Desmos told me I should get for my x. Now that I have my x, I can sub that x into either one of those two equations to find my y. So let's use this equation right here. Let's go y is equal to negative 1 over 6x plus 1, but I know that my x should be negative 6. So it means I have negative 1 over 6 times negative 6 over 1 plus 1. All this will cancel out and just give me 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. How did I do that so fast? I have a 6 here, a 6 here. They cancel out. A 1 here, a 1 here. Just it gives me 1. And I know it's a plus 1 because negative times negative gives me plus. So my intersection point of the medians is negative 6, comma 2. That is my centroid. That is where the medians of my triangle intersect. Now that we've talked about medians, our next job will be to learn about the orthocenter. And the orthocenter is just this intersection point of the heights or the altitudes of a triangle. And after we do that, we'll have to learn about the circumcenter. And the circumcenter is just the intersection point of all the perpendicular bisectors of a triangle. And remember, perpendicular means 90 degrees. Bisector means we need to find the midpoints of the sides again. But that is going to have to wait for another day. Our video is coming to an end. What I would like you to do today for homework is I would like you to try number 8 in your textbook. And then I want you to make up your own questions. So I want you to pick 3 vertices. You can pick any numbers you like and find the median of your own triangle as well. And you can share that with me and give it to me and I will correct it. And then we'll move on to orthocenters and circumcenters tomorrow.